Hello and welcome to Techsagi. Today we will be shedding some light on one of the most common and the most challenging issues faced by all companies regardless of its size. The problem that I'm referring to is called requirement elicitation. Elicitation refers to the concept or methodology of collecting requirements from the end user. Now, a pretty simple question to all. Why is this a challenge? Looks fairly simple and straightforward, right? Well, the answer to this question is no, it's not that simple as it looks because the end user never shells out all the details for the requirements that are described for a specific project. So, now that we know what is elicitation, we need to understand why is it so important. But before that, we need to understand what will happen if we are missing out something in the elicitation phase of a project. So the question, how does misinterpretation of requirements happen during elicitation and how does this impact the project? Now let's say that the elicitation phase is over and the developer is ready to kickstart the project, but the developer will only limit the knowledge to the skill set that is owned by the developer. This is where misinterpretation kicks in because the developer will develop the project, like the developer will say, yeah, this is to be done, that is to be done, this is to be done, that is to be done, and the project gets delivered into the end user's main environment. Now in this case there is a 75% chance that the project will fail in the main environment. I'll tell you why. Because the developer limited the knowledge of that requirement to the skill set owned by the developer. This is a very wrong way of eliciting requirements. Now, what's the solution for this? It's pretty simple. The developer needs to expand his horizon and understand why this requirement is being put forward by the end user and what will be the business use case of this requirement. If the developer thinks in these lines, it will allow the developer to be more accurate in providing the solution, keeping the end user also in a happy mood and also simplifying the developer's task. It will also help the developer to fit this application in the existing business flow. In other terms, streamlining this application within the existing business flow. So when the application gets delivered into the end user's main environment, it will allow the end user to exploit its full benefits. The second question now, how does this impact the project? If the elicitation goes wrong, it will lead to complete wastage of the resource that is being utilized for this project and the time of that resource. And the time is a very precious commodity nowadays, especially in the software development industries. Now, we have understood how it will impact. Now, let's say that we have understood the elicitations. We have 10 distinct assumptions now. It is very important for us to clarify all those assumptions in the elicitation phase itself. Because if we kickstart the project with assumptions and we deliver a project based on assumptions, it is going to crumble in the main environment if you are unlucky enough to send it into the main environment. Yeah, some assumptions might get caught in the testing phase, but still 90% of the projects will go into the main environment because everybody thinks that their assumption is right, which is a wrong approach to eliciting requirement. So we have just understood how does misinterpretation of requirement impact the project. Now we'll go ahead. So here again another question, like how can wrong elicitation impact the organization? Why am I repeating the same question? Am I right? So we will see an example as we move ahead in this slide related to this question. But I just wanted to shed some light on this question. This question is relating to the changes in the grammatical syntax of the requirement that will be sent down the chain, right, from the person who conducts the elicitation to the sub-managerial level to the developer or the person who is going to work on the project. If there is a grammatical change of syntax as the message is passed down or the requirements that are passed down, the developer will have their own thinking mechanism and it might lead to complete reverse of what we need to develop. For example, a client asks X and we deliver Y. Reason why? Because there was a change in the grammatical syntax as the requirements was sent down the chain. So let's move ahead. So this is the example that I was talking about. Consider there are two companies, company A and company B being the end user. So company B has their own business analyst. Higher authority from company B communicates the requirements to the business analyst. The business analyst communicates with company A's business analyst, and company A's business analyst communicates with the development team, and the development team delivers the product for company A. Now this can be a very good chain, but it can also have side effects. The side effects that I just mentioned in the previous slide. Company B asks X, B's analyst adds X plus 1, A's analyst adds X plus 1, which becomes X plus 2. A's development team develops Y, company A delivers Y plus 1, which results in a very bad situation for company A. You cannot blame company B for wrong requirements, because according to company B, the requirements were correct. So what is the proper team that needs to be used for elicitation? Of course, we need to use a team, right? The team for elicitation should consist of a business analyst to understand the business point of view for the requirements, a person from a senior managerial level, for example, a senior manager for the project, and a system analyst. I'm pointing to a developer because I'm pointing to a software development project. The team may vary based on the type of project. Now, elicitation juggle around the important aspects. Important aspects is understanding the requirement and getting out most information out of the least given by the end user. Whatever the end user is giving you, you need to extract that, pull out some assumptions, pull out some questions, ask the end user for clarifications. The end user will 100% clarify those assumptions for you, because the end user also wants a seamless project application delivered for the company. So in the end of this requirement elicitation discussion, I would like to add that it is a very slow, when I say it is nothing but elicitation. It is a very slow and a cumbersome process, but it is a vital aspect for winning projects and also increasing team efficiency. You cannot be an expert in elicitation right from day one. It is a skill that you develop with experience and over time. So that's all for now in this requirement elicitation video. We will see in our next video what are the types of elicitation that can be performed. And this is Techsagi signing off. Goodbye and have a very nice day.